And if they do the insurance, then they already know the property has aluminum wiring. We're not going to tell them overtly it has aluminum wiring. And then hopefully we can get the quote at that point. So I know that's a long-winded answer, Eugene. So I've got sort of a presentation to go through, guys. It looks like it's just the four of us or five of us today. And it's about how to build a lead magnet system. And so I think it's relevant for everybody. And I can run through it if that's cool with you guys. What do you think?
Yeah.
That'd be great.
Yeah,
Work?
that'd be great.
Okay. All right,
Yeah.
cool. Let me
So basically, when you're talking about lead magnet, you're talking about investors, right?
exactly.
Perfect.
How to build. Oh wait, hold on. Wait, hold on. I think I did the wrong screen. Hold on a second. Let me do screen 2. Share from beginning. Boom. All right. Can you guys see it?
Yeah.
Yes, indeed.
Perfect. Okay. I didn't make the art, but it's a little childish, but that's okay. So how do we build a lead magnet system? And so what is a lead magnet system? It's a system that it offers a free and valuable resource by a business in exchange for the customer's contact information, such as their email address, contact information, their email address, their phone number, their really email address and phone number. No one sends letters these days, so like their address isn't going to matter, right? But it is you provide this for it could be a million different things. It could be an ebook, it could be a checklist, it could be a webinar, it could be a video series, an exclusive report, something that you offer to the general public and they have to opt in to get a copy of it. This is how social media sales funnels and marketing funnels are built. This is how people blow up. This is how people get 100,000 people on their investor list or on their email marketing list, right? All those email marketing emails that you guys have gotten in the past for God knows what, you have opted in at some point to receive that information. And so when you're trying to attract investors, it's the same game. I mean, I've done it myself, right? So I put on webinars, real estate investment webinars, and I do that through Zoom, and people have to register. When they register to join the webinar is free, right? And when they register to join the webinar, you get their information. When you get their information, they become in your customer retention management software, which we'll talk about in a minute. So if you guys go and look at my Instagram page right now, there's a little link that says free guide to real estate syndications. That again, that's a little PowerPoint presentation that I made. And when people visit my Instagram page, they click on that link, they go, oh, I want a copy of that. They click on it. They have to put in their information. I have some qualifying questions in there as well, because I'm looking for investors, but also potential clients and contacts. And so those questions have to be answered, and then they get the information. But then they're funneled into my CRM database, which I use Go High Level, and they're funneled into that, and now they are in my ecosystem. And so it's up to me at that point to then nurture those leads. So in the context of real estate syndications, lead magnets, what you would do is if you're looking for investors, put on a webinar about real estate investing, put on a webinar about, tax benefits of real estate investing, but you're doing it from the perspective of a sponsor who is investing in purchasing real estate. You want to use this opportunity to build a pipeline of interest and qualified leads. By capturing the contact information, you're obviously establishing your expertise by providing the lead magnet system, and then you want to nurture the relationships and drive more investment opportunities, guys. So how do you craft an irresistible lead magnet. There is an art to it, but understand your target audience, number one. If you're looking, I don't know if you guys, I do, I do a lot of Instagram marketing, but there's a particular guy on there who is like an ex-NFL player, and he's a fitness coach, right? There's a million fitness coaches out there. And his whole thing is you have to make more than $150,000 a year to even qualify for his program. Right? He's targeting like high performing business guys who don't have time to go to the gym. I qualify in that category right now. And and uh and so that's his qualifying question, right? Because you want to filter out the leads that are not going to go anywhere, right? And this is, again, even from investor perspective, right? You want to filter out, if someone was working at McDonald's and they're interested in getting in shape, he doesn't want to talk to them because they're not going to be able to pay for his services, right? So the same thing is true for investors. And when we're understanding our target audience, you want to conduct your research. You want to understand, the key characteristics and pain points and preferences of your investor and your investor audience, right? So, for instance, you could target a high income W-2 earner that doesn't have time to review investments, right? Doesn't have time to do the diligence it takes to actually operate real estate properties. And so that would be, like cardiologists, right? Or high income doctors that don't have this time. I actually have thought about this, and I am thinking about doing a lead magnet system to attract investors for us and for deals that I'm working on. And my target audience is actually plaintiffs' lawyers, right? So I'm obviously a lawyer, so I'll have a connection with them there as a fellow lawyer. But plaintiffs, so I've even thought about a tagline and everything, which is, passive income for plaintiffs' lawyers. Because there's you see these billboard lawyers out there that are making, millions and millions of dollars a year. Well, where are they investing that money? Where are they putting it? That is an example of identifying my target audience. What's the value proposition? Right? It's got to be a unique and compelling value. So if you're, this actionable insight, or if it's exclusive industry knowledge or a solution to a problem they're facing, if it's a matter of, hey, if you are someone who is a high income earner, you've got a W-2 job, you've got a lot of money sitting in a savings account, and you're earning 3% interest in your high yield savings account, let me show you a better way to earn more secure passive income at 10, 15, 20% interest, right? That sounds very intriguing if that was me. And so that's just an option of how you can determine the value proposition. Choosing the lead magnet format. All right. So like I mentioned earlier, there's a million different formats for lead magnet systems. I'm trying to get my cursor's not working. Here we go. It could be an ebook. It could be a checklist. It could be a video series. Webinars are really great. Webinars are really good for lead magnets because they not only opt in with their information, but you also then you're on a showcase, right? You are front and center. I've always said to myself and to others that the warmest leads you are going to get are the leads where you are presenting in front of an audience. And so if that can be done on a webinar, that's great. If it can be done live at an event, even better. So that's going to be, I think, the best bang for your buck. But webinar series, video series, something like that. Download my real estate checklist, whatever you're just trying to gather their information so that you can then nurture them later on, right? And then to Benoit's point, it does take a level of understanding of technology because you are creating captivating content. I struggle with that myself. And there are social media experts out there and coaches out there that you can also get and hire, to help with some of that content creation. I actually found, and Dante would appreciate this since he's Mr. AI. I found a company that will use AI to create PowerPoint presentations, right? You put in what you want and then it creates it, slides and everything. So proud of myself for finding that. So after calculating the creative content, you want to optimize for conversion. What does that mean? Streamline the lead magnet delivery process, right? So if it's through your Instagram page or your LinkedIn page or a Zoom link for a webinar, and then incorporate an effective call to action to encourage your target investors to provide their contact information and opt into the mailing list. Like for instance, free guide to real estate syndications is mine on my Instagram page, right? I'm an expert in that. You know, people want to learn from an expert and they put in their information to get the content. And then once I get the content, once I get the contact information, you know, then it's my job, like I said earlier, to follow up with them and nurture those leads. So how do you promote the lead magnet? Leveraging social media platforms. I thought on the way to work today that if you are not on social media, which I think everyone here has been, well, I'm not sure if you are effectively, but if you are not on social media, then and you're just not building your brand through that platform, you're just going to be left behind because that's where everyone is, unfortunately, this day and age. And that is how everyone is building their brand and their following. Investors are on social media 100%. I've got one of my investors is actually, you know, he reached out to me after, you know, seeing one of my presentations and hold on a minute, guys. After seeing one of my presentations and asked me, you know, do we have a deal to invest in? You know, so they are absolutely there. Email marketing campaigns. I was not a big believer in email marketing campaigns, but it is an effective tool. I think most marketers or marketing companies will say email marketing campaigns work. You just have to really tweak, you know, the subject line. You got to make it captivating. If you start putting this stuff out on social media or people start realizing that you're doing this, you're going to get a flood of emails from what they're called copywriters, right? Copywriters are someone that can write your email campaigns for you. Obviously, you got to pay them, but that's an effective tool as well. And again, if you're using a CRM database, customer retention management tool, you can do all this through that platform. Leverage influencer partnerships. This takes a little bit more time to build that following. But if you have a partnership with, like, for instance, in the real estate space, you know, maybe we had a partnership with a big vendor, right? A big company that, you know, where you're basically leveraging their exposure for your benefit. And obviously optimizing your website for lead capture. If people are visiting your website, capture their information, right? If you're doing blog posts, right, you want people to subscribe to your website so that they are now in your ecosystem and they're going to get information from you. Paid ads, also very effective. I must admit, I was not a big believer in paid ads through social media platforms, but I have been converted. They absolutely do work, and I would recommend using them. You got to pay to play, right? You know, 50, 100 bucks a day. Sometimes is what it takes. But if you're doing ads, targeted ads for investors, and you're marketing a deal. And guys, this is where it would be a 506C offering. So big distinction. It's going to be a C offering if you're out there. Marketing on social media through paid ads. Sorry, a little brain fart there. All right, nurturing your leads. So once those leads are in your system, you got to nurture them. And this is, you know, there are people out there that specialize in this 100%, right? And once you guys all blow up, which you absolutely will, and you've got your own real estate investment company, which you have, but you're at the point where, you know, your real estate investment company is large enough that you're hiring staff. One staff member I absolutely would recommend hiring is your chief marketing officer. And your chief marketing officer is someone that is going to be managing these lead magnet systems, managing this promotion of the lead magnet, capturing the information, and then nurturing the leads, right? So how do you nurture the leads? You develop personalized email sequences to stay connected with your subscribers, right? Not just, hey, thanks for subscribing, but personalized messages. Provide valuable content and updates regarding your real estate syndications to build trust and rapport. Whether it's even just, hey, this is a weekly real estate market update, right? This is what's happening in the real estate world. Letting people know that you're an expert in this space, but also, they start to come to rely on, oh, I didn't get an email from Guyton Capital, this week. I wonder what's going on in the market. You can, depending on what system you use, you can segment your subscribers based on their interest and engagement. For your subscribers, you can offer exclusive or sneak peek opportunities. And so, guys, going back to raising capital and thinking about complying with securities regulations, if it's a 506C, you can advertise all day, and these investors can be complete strangers, right? But if it's a 506B, you do need to have a pre-existing substantive relationship. Well, guess what? You're building that relationship by nurturing your leads through this process. So when you get a new subscriber to your website, once you have a website, and you reach out to that subscriber, you get to know them a little bit better. You get to understand what they're interested in, what their investing goals are. That in and of itself creates the pre-existing substantive relationship. Okay, so it's very important that you keep doing that. Regularly solicit feedback and address any concerns or questions, obviously, from the subscribers. Implementing a lead scoring system to identify and prioritize your most engaged and invested subscribers, rather. So here's some real world lead magnet examples, right? Free downloadable guide providing insight to the multifamily real estate investing landscape by the multifamily. Look, here's a blueprint. A lot of people use terms like blueprint. 7-day real estate investing challenge, interactive email-based challenge offering daily lessons and actionable strategies for aspiring real estate investors. Right? Think about that. You would click on that. Hey, I'm going to join the challenge. Anything that's a challenge is going to get some interest. Commercial real estate masterclass. Here's a video course teaching fundamentals of commercial real estate syndication. I'm actually next week, I think, or 2 weeks, I got invited to speak this group in Texas called Momentum Real Estate, I think they're called. But I'm doing a webinar on 1031 exchanges. They just reached out and asked me to do a webinar on 1031 exchanges. So that is their lead magnet for their investors, right? This is how the game is played, guys. This is how the game is played. So key metrics to track. So lead magnet conversion rate. And again, this is a little bit out of like I said, hire that person. Maybe some of the younger guys on the call. I think Randall has a pretty good handle on some of this stuff. But this is, I don't do a lot of this kind of stuff, but I've learned how to do it. So what are the metrics you're targeting and you're tracking, right? You're measuring lead magnet conversion rate. Right? 10 to 20% conversion rate from lead magnet to opt-in to qualified lead. And we talked about qualifying the leads earlier. So if someone's joining your webinar and you want to ask them, are you a current investor? Are you a accredited investor? How much are you looking to invest in the next 90 days, right? And you have, 100,000, 200,000, 500,000, more than 500,000, right? You can qualify them that way. And then that as soon as they come into your ecosystem, they are warm, they are ready to invest, and it's like shooting fish in a barrel, guys. I'm telling you, once this process is in place. 70 to 80% of the leads should be qualified as potential syndication investors, and you do that by pre-qualifying them on the front end. So you're qualifying them when they opt in and they're filling out the forms to make sure that they're already ready to go. You lead nurturing engagement, 60 to 80% open rate, 20 to 30% click-through rate for lead nurturing emails. That's a really good open rate. Investor conversion, right? So 30 to 50% of qualified leads should convert to invested investors, right? So if you have 100 people join your webinar, a specific real estate investing webinar, then 30 to 50% should become investors of yours. Okay. And then customer lifetime value, average investor value, 50 to 100,000 per syndication investment. That's just saying, you know, what is the amount they're going to invest over the life of their relationship with you. So conclusion, guys, you know, this is a short one, but unlocking investor potential. So I think it's clear by having this lead magnet system as real estate syndicators and starting the real estate investment company, this is the number one way today to attract investors. Now, this supplements your also one-on-one meetings with brokers, with other investors, going to meetups, joining masterminds such as this and other masterminds, going to conferences, shaking hands. You know, the more hands you shake, the more money you make. It's such a true axiom. So this is another piece of that puzzle in your investing career. So that's it. I think that is the last slide, guys. So anyway, what let's kind of open it up. Does anyone have any questions or comments on that idea and that process?
My question is, doing that process, how much would it be for a startup? I know you said there's paid ads and things like that. I know there's a lot of sweat equities. Like, talk about that. How much time will it actually take someone to keep doing that till, you know, they have, I mean, some people don't have $50 a day. I might only have, like, you know, $50 a week.
Right, 100%. Yeah. Well, a good point. And the paid ads, again, that's kind of a luxury if you've got that ability to do that. It does take a lot of time because you are generating content. And so there's a bunch of, and guys, you utilize ChatGPT and other AI platforms to create a content schedule for you. Okay. It will do that in a heartbeat. It'll say, you can say, look, I'm an aspiring real estate investor. I am looking to purchase real estate using other people's money, specifically through real estate syndications. Create a content strategy, a weekly content strategy for me to help me develop not only my expertise in an area or showcase my expertise in an area, but to develop qualified leads for potential investors. Boom. You put that in AI, it will develop a whole plan for you. So that, Dante, to answer your question, that does take quite a bit of time. Because the posting, you know, whether it's LinkedIn, whether it's, you know, Twitter, and I don't really use Twitter, but LinkedIn or Facebook or Instagram, those are kind of the big three, I think. You're going to be, it depends on what you post. You post educational content, you post lead magnet content, you know, you post update content just to kind of let people know you're relevant, you're in the industry. But then once you have enough of a following, and then you go ahead and post your lead magnet system or whatever it is, if you're hosting a webinar, if you put an ebook together, or you put a webinar or video series together, it doesn't take paid ads to run that, right? It takes a while to build your database, but it doesn't take paid ads to do that. And I was told when I started out in the social media realm that like 2 posts a day at least, you know. So that's what, 14 a week, just to kind of build your following. But good question.
If I can add on to that, Todd, just from my experience of actually running paid ads, especially through Facebook, it can get pretty expensive. What I would say, if anyone is deciding to actually go that route, it can be also very rewarding as far as, you know, the engagement, especially on the Facebook aspect. But you got to look to potentially spend at least, especially in the sector that we're in, as far as real estate and education from that aspect, anywhere between $1,000 to about $1,500 a month on the low end, just for ads.
Yeah.
But you'll want to have your lead magnet and your client intake and everything in order. So when you actually filtering these individuals through, you could then continually market to them through email campaigns and so on.
Yeah, yeah. I would say that probably the most important cost is going to be your CRM, right? Go high levels, like $97 a month.
Yep.
You can use, that's probably the best one out there. ClickFunnels is another one. I don't know anything about them, but those are kind of the big players in the space. There may be some other ones, but that I would go ahead and get. Like, every broker that you've emailed in this past couple of months should be in your system, right? I mean, Dante, this insurance lady should be in our system, right? In the Go High Level system. Every single person that comes in contact, and I was talking to my COO today at the law firm, and I was like, I don't know why we don't have this for the firm. Like, yeah, we absolutely should. I mean, we don't get a lot of retail clients. Like, it's mainly, referrals and large, institutions and banks and stuff like that. But, so we're not out there on the street looking for clients through email marketing, but still, it's a good way to keep our brand relevant, I should say. So, what else? Any other thoughts on that? Benoit, what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I probably had many thoughts, but I don't know. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it seems yeah, essential, right, to get find those investors, right? I mean, there's no other way around. So yeah, I mean, I get it. I mean, what about like a lot of people in your contact, right? People I mean, I just don't imagine. I mean, I'd be one of them. I mean, if somebody told me I have a great deal, right? But you have to put 100K minimum. I'd be like, man, I'd really like to invest, but I don't have that money right now, right? So I think a lot of people that I know, I mean, I'm not, I don't think they're the type of people that would be able to do a 100K minimum, investment. So I
Right.
don't, should we just be like, okay, well, I'm gonna target other people, not that circle of friends and acquaintance, or you think it's still you know or you think you should also try to target them for other reasons?
Yeah. Well, so in the syndication documents, there's always an exception that the manager can elect to accept a smaller amount than 100,000. Sometimes there's minimum of 25,000. When people start out, a lot of times you put 25 or $50,000 as a minimum investment amount. It takes longer to raise that capital because it's more people that you have to go to. So I would probably, and you made me think of something else, Benoit, is everyone right now, like everyone has, I don't know how many contacts I have in my phone, right? Probably like 2,000, something like that. Every one of those contacts, every one of your personal contacts right now should go into your CRM database, right? And whether they may not have the money right now, Benoit, but they may have a rich uncle, right? Or they may have a wealthy neighbor that they can introduce you to, right? So you never know where the next contact and the next relationship is going to come from. So that's why it's important to kind of just stay omnipresent, if you would, right? Like, you're just sort of, you're kind of always in the front of mind, when it comes to real estate investing. So I would initially, and if you don't have those contacts, then just put in your database, your existing contacts, and see where that leads, right? And that's the other piece. This is something that Haley and Johnny are really good at, and what Haley is especially is, she's got a bunch of contacts, but she's also done the groundwork to establish herself as the go-to person in her community for real estate investing, right? Her and her team. So, and she did that initially through a big dinner party that she threw at her house, just to let people know, this is what I'm doing. I'm out there going to go invest in real estate. So I don't know if that answered your question, Benoit, or not, but I think there's ways, even though you may not have the contacts now, I think it's still worthwhile putting in the groundwork, adding the contacts that you do have, and then building on that from there, basically.
Yeah, and you think probably like the minimum that you'd ever have somebody invest, what would you think that might be?
I wouldn't go below 25,000.
Okay. So if
Yeah.
somebody said I've got 15,000, you'd be like,
I mean, you can, you don't want to run into, you don't want to be considered that it's crowdfunding. Crowdfunding is a specific type of regulation under Regulation A, where they can accept like $1,000, right, in a deal. And I don't think you wouldn't be doing that, but you want to, by setting a minimum like that, it kind of alleviates any issues of crowdfunding. But yeah, you could accept 15,000. It just really kind of depends. The minimum, the least amount that I've ever seen is 25,000 in a deal.
mm-hmm.
Oscar, how you been, man? You been listening in? What are your thoughts on this process here we're talking about?
Yes, so I liked everything that you were saying, and is really, you really have to devote your time to it. I'll be trying to, like, just from seeing your page, I'll be trying to steal some stuff from you, but like you said, you always gotta be in people's face. And since I found your page, there's not one day that you're not out there.
Yeah.
And and yeah, but I've been okay. I've been good, just focusing on this crazy project that I have going on.
The flips you're doing?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I bought more, and they like all apart. They're not even close by. They like all type of ranges. So I'm trying to finish them up, and so I can raise capital with that, and then start doing other things. But that's what I've been doing.
Gotcha. Yeah. Yeah, it takes a lot of time. That's the thing, but if you've got time, then you should spend it building your skill set, researching real estate investing, educating yourself, consuming content, and then producing content to kind of build that reputation.
Absolutely.
So awesome. I think Eugene and Johnny, I think you guys are already kind of well on the way here. Do you guys have a CRM database though that you're working through?
Yeah, I was actually playing with Go High Level today, trying to figure out how to like automate things on the email end, basically.
Nice. Yeah, Go High Level. I mean, and me, not the most technologically advanced either, and I have trouble with Go High Level. But to Eugene's point, we talk about how much work this takes. It takes work to produce the content, whether it's filming yourself or drafting emails or researching and posting content on like content for educational purposes. But the software is so good now that you can automate everything, right? So as soon you can automate emails to go out, you can automate responses, you can automate text messages back and forth. It's not you, it's AI, right? It's like a robot doing it. But for me, my struggle is figuring out how to implement that automation. I just don't understand how to use. I need a Go High Level expert that can help me manage my Go High Level.
Yeah, that's why they're making me do like not an interview, but like an onboarding session, and then I think that's gonna break it down for me. So I scheduled one for next week to do it.
Good. I did an onboarding session and it was worthless. I probably need to do another one. The thing with Go High Level is they have 24-hour Zoom support.
Yeah.
So they must have people in like all over the world, and they just go by the time zone, and literally, you call them at 3 a.m. and you just jump on a Zoom immediately and they'll fix whatever issue you have.
Hey, my advice to Go High Level is not to do any of the things that Go High Level tells you to do. Go on Fiverr, have your whole plan worked out, that what you want, have somebody build it,
Yeah.
and then they'll teach you how they built it, and then you can like, customize it from that, and then just leave it at that. Don't do anything more, because there's just so much to do in high
Right.
level. All you need is your one plan, and figure out, get somebody to do that for you for $45 to $100.
Yeah.
And then they'll teach you how to do it. If they're from Nigeria, from Pakistan, or something like that, they'll teach you more than go high level people will.
100%. Yeah.
Definitely. Upwork and Fiverr, both places you can go and get that done very easily.
Yeah, that's a good. I had somebody I think it was in Bangladesh that helped me with it.
Oh yeah, and they know it. They know it like the back of their hands. You just tell them what you want to do, this, that, and the other, and then they'll work with you after you've already given them the money. They'll still work with you to make it the way you want it to, even though you didn't plan it out when you gave them the information. They'll still work with you to get it down, and literally, that's the only way I learned high level. I tried so many videos, it didn't work.
Really? Wow. Yeah, and Dante, I know you were kind of off the LinkedIn marketing train, but you should get back on it, man.
Yeah, discipline and consistency is the number one thing in social media. If you don't have, I mean, it's not even about doing it right. It's just doing it consistently, and doing 2 posts a day isn't hard after you've done it for like 90 days. And just doing simple stuff. It doesn't matter. You get better as you do it. I jumped off of it because I'm new to multifamily, and I got bombarded, and then I was sitting there scrolling on social media and even on LinkedIn, just watching other people do things, and got lost. So, hey.
And you know what? You come to find out that like everything is content, right? I mean, if you don't mind putting yourself out there, and you're, in the real estate space, right? If you're, like Randall, you're underwriting deals left and right? Video yourself underwriting deals, right? I mean, show the world that you're working on this and what you're doing.
Constantly document the process.
Yeah, document the process, post the results. Like, we just went through one that was like, yeah, we're going to pass. Well, why? Why we were, Randall and I were underwriting this deal, Spivey Crossing in Georgia, 60-unit deal in Ellenwood. And, it was, I think 53 units have already been renovated. And so
53 was renovated.
Yeah, so we were looking at the underwriting. I was like, well, man, where's the value at here? Like
no meat on the bone.
No meat on the bone, right? We're gonna renovate 7 units and then have a fully renovated property. How are we gonna sell that? You always got to be thinking about that exit strategy. So I think we passed on it. So, yeah, interesting, awesome, guys. Well, I don't have anything else in particular to go through. I thought that was gonna take a little bit longer, but unless you guys have any other questions, Benoit, are you still hunting for properties in Florida?
Yeah, I guess, yeah. Though,
Yeah. Did you get?
If you had a chance to look at that one we looked at last week, but.
Okay. Did you get your logo finalized for Pemberley Capital?
Yeah, I mean, still working on finding somebody to do it.
Well, hey, so speaking of which, so look on Upwork
or Fiverr.
And Fiverr. Have you heard of those companies, Benoit? Or those websites?
No.
Yeah, so it's literally, I think it's upwork.com. Right? Yeah. Yeah, literally UP.
Yeah, that's correct. It's upwork.com.
And then Fiverr is,
you can go on there and actually post it.
Yeah.
So Fiverr is basically the middleman for Upwork. So most of the individuals that you see on Fiverr, they would be on Upwork. Just on Fiverr, their cost a little bit more because Fiverr have their fees attached to it. On Upwork, you can get more work a lot less cheaper.
Oh, you think Upwork's better, huh?
100%. Everyone that's on Fiverr is on Upwork. It's just the only thing that's different with Upwork. You have to put together your post and everything else. You have to go through the interviews and so on. On Fiverr, you don't have to do any of that.
Okay. So Benoit, this is where you would post like, hey, I'm looking for someone to help me do a logo. And then you'll get a bunch of people to say, I can do it, I can do it, I can do it.
Correct.
You know, $50, you know, $60, like not expensive. And you can give them that image that you sent me,
Yeah.
that your dad made with AI, and then just say, hey, this is the image, just recreate this.
Yeah.
It's all about working smarter, not harder, right, guys?
Yeah, you know, it's
Yep.
another thing. If it's for a logo, it's called Design Crowd. So basically, you could go in there and put your logo on side of there, and you can have individuals actually compete for who can provide the best logo for you.
Oh,
Hmm.
That's dope.
there we
Yeah,
go.
so that's something you guys should definitely check out as well.
Design Crowd.
Yeah, Fiverr has been a lifesaver for me starting a business even before this one right here. I mean, business plans, websites, logos, go high level, anything and everything that you want. Fiverr has worked for me. I know Upwork is what it does, but I guess I'm just a little bit more biased towards Fiverr because I watch every price and I'll go for the lowest price.
Yeah.
Just to see what they do, and you can get your money back quickly if they don't do what they're supposed to do.
Nice. So I can get me a go high level manager through one of these companies, huh?
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
I
definitely
actually
easy.
I I had a go I've hired a go level guy for $60 a month.
No way.
And yeah, $60 a month. He gave me 30 days of post. And then I paid him an extra $15 to do it for another month.
What was he doing for you?
Literally he did all the automation for the post. I just had to give him what I wanted in the post, and I use AI for that. And then he made all our what do you say, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook post, and he put them all on Canva. So now I go back to Canva and all I do is just edit it for my other business. And
So it was
literally
like
I got
he was like a social media manager, I guess, through.
yeah, yep, sure
That's
was.
that's dope. Because that's what I actually did. Same with mine. I actually just outsourced all the work. When I went to set up my Go High Level, I outsourced someone to actually go ahead and set that up. I outsourced the content creator to go ahead and put all my emails, campaigns, as well as my text, SMS campaigns, and everything together. And then I outsourced for somebody to manage it and oversee it. And I've
Yeah.
been doing that for years in just about all my businesses.
Yeah, and it's so easy. And then when you go to another person, they compete with each other. Like
Hmm.
they're literally asking for work,
Mhm.
and it's very simple. I just every time I get stuck, I'm just like, all right, let me find somebody and go high level.
Right,
And
right.
literally, you just get on the Zoom call real quick, tell them what you're trying to do, this, that, and the other, and they're like, "Oh, well," and I'm like, "I don't need that much," and then I'll bring down the price, and I can literally negotiate with these people because they just want $60, they just want $200 a month. They can pay
Right.
their rent. They can pay their family. I have this one lady that she did all my videos on another one. She literally hits me up every 2 weeks. Like, do you have more work for me? Do you have more work for me? And she did about 4 hours of video content for like $1,200.
But do you give these people your logins, I guess?
Yeah, I give them you give them a what's it called, login? Like a an admin login
Oh,
and
to
this,
go
that, and
high
the other.
level?
Yep, and then you take them right off as soon as it's done. Like
Got it.
I've I've used Go High, what do you say, Fiverr for some of the craziest things. And it used to be cheaper, but now, hey, just don't
It's
go
getting
for the
more
top
expensive?
guys. A lot expensive, but now you go to the two level the two level and the one level people, they can do the same as the 5 level people.
Oh,
They
really?
they
Oh, yeah.
can do the same thing. It's just, you just got to test them out. And if they don't do it right, they don't get it right, man, I just pull my money back and then go to
Yeah.
someone else.
Oh man, I need one of those. I need me a
You have to pull your
need one.
money back. I mean, can you, I mean, if they've done half the work, you can just pull all your money back? I mean, you don't have to give anything?
Yeah, literally, I had someone because so I had the pitch deck done on some it was Gamma AI. Todd didn't like it that much, so I was like, all right, let me go to PowerPoint. I went to PowerPoint. I got one person to try it out. He did it, but he didn't do what I wanted to do. I literally pulled the money back, got someone else to do it, and they got it right. And then I used their template for the PowerPoint. Like, it's just like one person started and was like, oh man, it doesn't look good. You need to do this, this, that, and the other. And they're asking for too much information. So I went to someone else and said, can you take this and make it better? They made it better. Hey, I took $30 from that guy and paid another guy $50. And literally now I have a pitch deck that is I can really customize to any other pitch deck. I can just change the information. But hey,
I'm looking on Upwork. You got to pay them to have a meeting. This guy is like 30 minutes for $150.
Some people you do.
Yeah. It's multiple different services, so he probably charging for a consultation. Or in the same sense, you can have someone who's not doing consultations and they literally just doing the service.
Right.
Yeah. And then I go to Fiverr and they're like, hey, contact me first. They'll literally get on the call with you, talk to you for 15 minutes and without no charge. I've had people start work on Fiverr and literally 2 days later, they gave me something and then they're like, oh, can you please send it to here? Because a lot of people, they don't like the Fiverr charge. So I'll send it through them through Cash App, or I'll go through something else, send them through PayPal. Like, you can make deals. You don't have to do it the way it is. But once you play with it a couple times, have somebody do your business plan, have somebody do your logo, have somebody start a website for you. Or you already got the website done. Hey, can you connect the website for me, please?
Right. Yeah.
That's
crazy.
It's your virtual assistant. You can use these guys for anything. Yeah. You just got to get into the platform and just start asking questions.
So that helps out a lot with the time issue, right? Do we have time to do this?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and they have a different time schedule. So if you send them a message right now, they'll get on it and they'll sleep. They'll do it while you're asleep, and you wake up in the morning.
And it's done.
It's already done.
Yeah, awesome. Well, very good, guys. Well, I'll put this presentation, PowerPoint presentation, up on the platform through school, and I'll post the call as well.
Can you send us just the PowerPoint as well, so we don't have to look at the whole presentation?
Yeah. I'll send over the PowerPoint.
Cool, thanks.
Absolutely. Hope everyone has a great day. If there's anything else, we'll just call it for the good of the order.
Sounds good.
Yeah,
sounds good, guys.
Good stuff.
Good seeing you guys. Talk soon.
Todd, just real quick.
Yeah.
You didn't talk to about the one we last time that we underwrite, right? Did you, because we were stuck with the.
Yeah, I had it with Amr, who didn't join, and then Randall and I were looking at the model. It's the rent roll. The problem is the rent roll. You have to put in the rent, and Dante, I didn't realize this, but Dante and I figured this out on Country Club. You got to put in the rent roll in the model exactly as it shows. Like you don't have to put the names, but you have to put, how many units there are, the actual dollar amount. If there are any vacants, you put that in there. So if that rent roll is reflected 100% accurately, then all the rest of the data flows.
So you're saying that our problem was that the rent roll was.
Yeah, I think it was it was putting the rent roll into the model. But I got to look at it again because it's been a minute.
Yeah.
But I'll do that before our call.
Okay.
All right.
Well, thank you.
All right, guys. Oh, Juan, you just missed it, buddy. We're just finishing up.
Really?
Yeah, it was at 5. Oh, you on Central Time, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's 5 Eastern, man.
Oh.
but I'm gonna post it on the platform, so you can watch the video there.
Okay, awesome.
All right,
How
guys.
you guys doing?
Good, man. How you been?
Pretty good.
Hanging in there, huh?
Yes, sir.
Awesome. I'll
All
talk
right.
to you soon. Thanks, guys. Bye.
Take care.